G'day guys, Luke here. Welcome back to another video. In today's video guys, this is the Reptile Room update for October 2024. This is part 1. We are yet again in the lizard room and we do have a new family member to showcase for this month. In today's video guys, we will be starting with Monty and Anastasia, who are my two Shingleback skinks. Both Shinglebacks here are doing exceptionally well, just smashing food and becoming a bit more active now. The one on the left hand side is Anastasia, she's the girl. Very easygoing, very adventurous little Shingleback. While the one on the right hand side is Monty, he's the very lazy and sleepy Shingleback. With these two, they don't mind the little head scratches, but usually when I pick them up, like most Shinglebacks, they will pee on you. Overall, they're doing quite well and nothing too crazy going on in their lives. Both Shinglebacks are housed in a full foot enclosure, so 120 centimeters. In the enclosure itself, we do have the aspen snake bedding as a substrate. Two hides for them to go into. There's a water bowl, food bowl, a backing, heat and UVB. And with most of my enclosures, guys, the heating is around 30 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees Fahrenheit, while the cooling is usually in the low 20s, so pretty much high 70s in the Fahrenheit, I believe. Just above Monty and Anastasia, we have the diva of the Reptile Room. This is Akko. Now, Akko here is my female Eastern War Dragon. Lately, she's been giving me a bit of sass, a bit of attitude. However, she is fine. The reason why she's been giving me a bit of attitude is because of her brand new pond that we've given her. A bit more naturalistic, a bit better than the old plastic tub, which was kind of an eyesore. Yes, this might be a bit smaller in diameter and depth for her. However, she doesn't care. As long as she can submerge and she's got some water to drink out of, she doesn't really care. The only thing I had to do was make sure it didn't leak, which it hasn't leaked at all, luckily, since I did some modifications. But she's housed in a 140 cm enclosure, so just shy of 5 foot. In her enclosure, I've got the coconut fibre as a substrate, a hide, a couple of rocks and a couple of pieces of timber in here for her to sit on, bask under. Got her branches that she can sit on, the brand new pond, backing, heating and UVB. And we've got the diva just looking absolutely fantastic, haven't we? On the top shelf of this rack system, we've got Dusty, who is my black-headed monitor. He's doing pretty well. It usually favours pinky mice or silkworms. That's why there's a pinky mouse just off to his right. He is a bit shy when I'm in the room feeding him, so I usually got to walk out for about half an hour. He'll come out and eat the pinkies or the silkworms, so I give him. Handling-wise, he's still quite nervous, quite flighty, and give him half a chance he will bite. So I'm still working on him with that, so hopefully in time he does settle down, but naturally this species is a very shy, skittish species. He's also housed in a 140 cm enclosure, just like Akko, but obviously set up differently. So with sand as his substrate, a water bowl, a food bowl, 3 places to hide for him, so he's got his hollow log and a couple of rock hides down on the ground. We've got a crocodile skull as a ornament, fake plants, a backing. He's got his branches that he'll climb on and do his crazy stunts. Got his heat and his UVB and a backing if I haven't mentioned it already. Next up we have Sui. Now Sui here is my sand swimmer. There isn't really much to report on Sui here other than the fact I don't really see her much. She's eating a bit less these days since she's just a very chunky little sand swimmer. Overall there's nothing wrong with her, she's just doing her own thing. She's currently housed in a 50 cm by 30 cm by 25 cm enclosure. She's about 2 to 3 inches worth of sand sand to burrow through. She does have a heat pad at the front of the enclosure to keep her warm. 3 hides she goes into if she doesn't want to burrow. Got a fake plant and a water bowl just to complete the enclosure. I've taken the backing off her enclosure, giving it to the geckos, as at the moment it fits better on the gecko enclosure than her enclosure at the moment, until we do some more rearranging later on. Speaking of the geckos, it's time to cover them. The one we're looking at here is Luna. Now, I'm a bit suspicious, to be honest. She wasn't this skinny a couple of days ago, so I wonder if she's dropped another clutch of eggs. So after this video, I will have a look at the enclosure and see if I can find eggs. In editing, I will put up a note to see if she has laid eggs or not, so you guys can see it on screen. Other than that, she's quite a confident little gecko. She'll come out and bask like this during the day, and I see her hunt every time I feed her, so she's got no dramas at this stage. She's quite happy. Looks healthy. So that's the main thing. So in the enclosure, we've got a hide just in the back there with a heat cord running underneath. Secondary hide at the front here so she can use that to cool down. couple of branches to climb on, even though they've got sticky feet to hang on glass. No harm putting a couple of branches in there for her to use. Sand's a substrate, please ignore the mess, it is a bit messy. Her water bowl, and the backing that she shares with a partner in crime, Charcoal, who is in this enclosure here. Charcoal is doing quite well. I haven't checked on him the last couple of days. I do see glimpses of him of a nighttime hunting. When I do see him, he looks fine, and there's nothing wrong with him. I'm just hoping he's gaining weight. That's the main priority at the moment, is getting these guys back up to full health and full of love. Fatten them up, do the thing I got to do. But yeah, he's in this little enclosure as well, as you can see. Bit different to Luna's setup, but pretty much the same thing. Couple of hides, couple of branches, a water bowl, stand, and the backing. And like I previously mentioned, they've got a heat cord underneath the enclosure to keep them nice and warm. And just for an added bonus, here's one of the baby geckos that Charcoal and Luna had. Doing exceptionally well. We do have 3 of them in total. So hopefully in the next month or 2, these guys get a bit of size. I will move them on to the new homes. Other than that, all 3 of them are smashing food. However, they're so flipping tiny. And here we have our new addition. Making their first appearance in the reptile room, we have Aurora. Now, Aurora here is a little diamond python, suspected to be a young female. Now, I took a big gamble here. At the Reptile Expo, one of the vendors, we were talking about diamond pythons, and said, oh, we might have a baby diamond up available. So they went through what they had, and 2 or 3 breeders tried to successfully pop her, and no hemipenis came out. So at this stage, it's got to be at least a 75% chance it's going to be a female. The other 25% is going to be a male. So still early this stage, but taking a gamble since both Atram and Aurelia are both boys. So for me, it is a goal of mine to hopefully breed diamond pythons one day. If Aurora here is a male, then that's case closed. If it's a female, then let's go. But taking a gamble. But since having her just for about a month now, she's doing very well. She's eaten 3 or 4 times I have offered food to her, and she's taking quite well. And pretty much inhales the food. She doesn't muck around. But no, she's pretty happy. Just a little basic setup she's in, a little 30 centimeter enclosure. We do have a heat cord that she shares with the geckos. Put a piece of cardboard there so she can't scare the geckos. We've got a hide for her. A couple of branches that she can sit on. Usually that's a little favourite spot there. It's kind of in the back left corner. And we've got one of these little LED UVB light bars on top of her enclosure, providing UVB for her at an early age. Making our way to the other side of the reptile room, this is Blaine. Now Blaine here is one of 4 blue tongues we have in the family, but she's the only lowland blotched blue tongue that we have. Normally a very shy little animal, but today she's feeling quite confident coming out and posing for the camera while we talk about her and her enclosure. She's doing well. She's a little runt, so I don't think she'll grow much bigger than this. But yeah, she's fine. She's healthy and doing things she does normally. She's housed in a 90 centimeter enclosure. It's a 3-foot enclosure. In the enclosure itself, we've got her Aspen as a bedding. 2 hides in here since she's a shyer blue tongue. Food bowl, water bowl, backing. We do have a UVB up here and her heat over there. But overall, she's a great little blue tongue, and we'll go on to the others. Just below Blaine, we have Bluey. Now, Bluey here is one of 3 Eastern blue tongue skinks we'll cover off here in a minute. Bluey here is quite inquisitive, very active and social blue tongue. He's always coming out to see what I'm up to every time I'm in the room. However, he does hatch out some mischievous ideas of trying to get out an enclosure or destroy his enclosure. But overall, he's a good little blue tongue. He's housed in a 127 enclosure, so 4-foot enclosure. In his enclosure, we do have his hide that he does go in and sleep during the day, come out and do his thing. We got his heat, UVB, we've got his backing, war bowl and food bowl, and yet again, the bedding is the Aspen. Below Bluey, we have another Eastern, like I mentioned. This is Billy. Now, Billy here is the youngest of the 3 Eastern blue tongues that we have. She's normally a very shy little blue tongue. However, when she comes out, she can be a very mischievous blue tongue. She'll come out trying to escape. She has escaped once before, but that was my fault. Leaving the door open and completely forgot about it at the time. But Billy is a very chunky blue tongue. If you go on previous videos, you would have seen how large she is. She was a rescue To be honest, all 3 Eastern Blue Tongues were rescues, and yeah, Billy's has thrived ever since we've had her. And she's honestly, even though she had half a tail missing, she's probably bigger than Bluey and Bo. So, all in all, she's quite well. Her enclosure is pretty much the same as Bluey's. The only difference is she has a heat pad in her enclosure. Plus, her enclosure is a bit more messier than Bluey, so I almost said Bo then. Our next little Bluey friend here is Bo. Now, Bluey and Bo are brothers. Now, about 5 years ago, I think it might have been, these two were housed together. But unfortunately, things happened and these two started fighting, so I had to separate them ever since. These two are kind of polar opposites, with Bluey being the more active and curious one. Bo is a laid back, lazy one, but he doesn't mind the cuddles. While Bluey's like, yeah, don't touch me sort of thing sometimes. So Bo's a very gentle blue tongue, and sometimes he'll come out, look around, see what's going on, then go back to bed. So he's a very, I guess, shy, not shy as well, not interested blue tongue. He doesn't care what's going on. However, his enclosure is pretty much identical to his brother Bluey's, as you can see here. On to our very secretive lizard of the room. This is one lizard I probably see the less of out of all my lizards in this room. Here we have Pedro. Now, Pedro, here's my pink tongue skink. He's actually doing much better these days. Since he's warming up, he's eating a lot more. He's more active for the dead of night where I'm dead asleep. So that's why I don't see him that much. I'll just put food in there of an evening. Next morning, it's practically almost all gone, like today. That's for me to know. He's still alive. He's doing well. And he's gaining a bit of weight, so it's a good sign. But other than that, he doesn't do much. He's housed in a 60 centimetre enclosure. It's a 2-foot enclosure. In his enclosure, we got his aspen as his bedding, water bowl, 2 hides on the ground, his food bowl, branch, fake plants. He's got his backing that we incorporated another hide into, so he's got 3 places to hide. We've got his heat, and he shares a light strip that kind of goes across onto Thumper, but doesn't do much lighting. This is just a low dimming light, so it doesn't brighten this enclosure too much. In this very last enclosure that we have on this bottom shelf here, we have Thumper. Now, Thumper here is my Gigi skink. Lately, he's been a bit more shy. He's not eating as much. He's decided just to disappear from sight. Normally, he'll come out and cause a bit of trouble for us, but he's been relatively quiet the last couple of weeks. So, just keeping a close eye on him to make sure he's fine. But as you can see there, he's okay. He just wants to hide. But if I annoy him too much, he'll let me know. So his enclosure, got sandy substrate, food bowl and water bowl. Got his fake rock stack here they can kind of get into, wedge in, and feel secure. Got his actual hideout, you can see he was hiding in a moment ago. We do have his backing and heat light and UV, or so I should say heating and UVB. That'll be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.